All right, Iris, just take a seat and we will get started.
Thank you.
So, this is our first session. I would love to get to know you better. You said when we first met that you were previously a member of a cult. Is that right?
Yes, I've been in one for years, maybe even almost 2 decades.
What cult were you part of?
The Blackened Paws. Or, as they say it in their tongue, Hakapot Hashchorot. They wielded death and darkened powers, and caused decay to the ground around, as well as vibrant flowers and plants. I was different. I had nature powers after my mother had an affair with a druid. I was forced to relinquish them for a long time.
So, they forced you to keep your nature powers hidden. Why?
I don't know. Maybe to maintain their extreme reputation over Lernivor, or to make sure no one who was different could change their traditions.
Tell me exactly what you went through. Spare no details.
What is there to say? I was born from a death witch and a druid. My birth was the first red flag to the rest of the cult, and they tried to have me euthanized. Almost all of Lernivor tried to completely banish my existence at a young age. When I turned 8, I was slowly and systematically forced to relinquish my powers. They made me wear gloves, and they manipulated me to think that the gloves stopped my powers from showing. During my childhood and formative years, they groomed and manipulated me more and more, and I was fully held over their head. They stoned me if I showed any form of life or nature magic with the powers they forced me to learn. I was locked in isolated rooms when they disapproved of my form or how I dressed, which was in more earthy tones rather than the black and gray clothes that were standard issue to them. And the whipping. I got whipped in the back when I was starting to get to my rebellious years because I hit puberty. Lernivor became my home, but it didn't last. I began to find out what they started doing to me, and Lernivor started to become a waking nightmare the more I find out.
I've noticed you say one thing repeatedly in your description. Lernivor? It sounds Scandinavian. What does it mean?
Lernivor is a fjord. It's where I grew up. Glaciers, more vibrant blue and white than the fur of an Arctic fox. Salty water that feels just right on the skin and fur. And very tall spruce and conifer trees.
There's many things that suggest major PTSD and extreme neglect with your story. Many people who are victims of such never leave without outside help. How did you do it?
I killed them all. On my coronation to become the monarch of the cult, I accidentally used my nature powers once I have to take my gloves off for the investiture, and right after they crowned me, the dead materials were brought to life from my powers that I was forced to keep inside. Everyone immediately screamed for me to be put to death. They lunged at me and I panicked. Everyone who tried to grab and put me to death were killed when I went ballistic. By the end, I was alone in the room with ripped up bodies being held in the air by vines, impaled by logs and wood, and pulled into the earth to be buried alive. I knew people would suspect something, so I left the coronation chamber and ran from Lernivor to Opal Skald, and I just adopted my new life. You know the rest.
I think that is enough for today. Thank you for your time.